Please give me your time and watch this whole video because what media and politicians are doing is literally insane. I used to be totally pro-choice until they went further and further and further to the point where they're literally okay with murdering babies. It's not just a right-wing or a Christian talking point anymore. Don't believe me? Just wait. So Georgia is looking to pass a heartbeat bill that makes it illegal to have abortions after 6 weeks. Why? Because around 5, 6, or 7 weeks is when a baby gets a heartbeat. So it's obviously not a clump of cells at that point if it has a living heartbeat. But celebrities are outraged and furious, so mad about this, cursing, screaming, and listing themselves out like they're so proud for wanting to abort babies with heartbeats. Just wait. It gets much, much creepier. That's early fetal development or first trimester. They're talking about third trimester abortions. These people literally have no shame and no value for life. Here's presidential hopeful Beto ORourke saying it's a woman's choice to do third trimester abortion.
Are you for third trimester abortions, or are you going to protect the lives of third trimester babies? Because, you know, there's really not a medical necessity for abortion. It's not a medical emergency procedure because typically third trimester abortions take up to 3 days to have. So you would, in that sense, if there was an emergency, the doctors would just do a C-section and you don't have to kill the baby in that essence. So are you for or against third trimester abortions?
So the question is about abortion and reproductive rights. And my answer to you is that should be a decision that the woman makes about her own body. I trust her. So that's my answer. Yes, sir.
That's how they hide this stuff. Leave it up to the doctors. Women's choice, women's rights, reproductive health. They have this nice little coding, which means to murder a baby with a heartbeat and physical features. Here's WebMD explaining what third trimester abortion is.
It's the third trimester, and your baby keeps on growing, gaining weight, and getting ready to meet the world. Here's a week-by-week look at the changes. Your little one is about as long as a large bok choy by week 28. Her eyes can open, and her toenails are starting to grow in. Next week, she weighs about 3 pounds. She's getting rounder as she gains fat, and her skin's becoming smoother. At week 30, she's about 16 inches long, the length of a bundle of collard greens. Her eyes open, close, and respond to light. Your baby's the length of a rhubarb stalk next week, and she's continuing to put on weight fast. She's around 3.5 pounds the week after. That makes her almost as hefty as a cantaloupe. Your little one is up to 4 pounds by week 33. She swallows, yawns, and practices breathing.
Are you for third trimester abortions, or are you going to protect the lives of third trimester babies?
She's putting on baby fat, and her skin isn't see-through anymore. Your baby weighs about 5 pounds by week 35. She keeps practicing her breathing, too. During week 36,
the question is about abortion and reproductive rights. And my answer to you is that should be a decision that the woman makes about her own body.
Little legs are chubby. Next week, she weighs about as much as a honeydew melon, 6 pounds. Plus, her bones and muscles are ready for the outside world.
It's not a clump of cells. It's disgusting and, quite frankly, very strange to me that people who consider themselves liberals and Democrats have somehow inverted reality to pretend like they're somehow helping women by using women to get creepier and crazier and more insane as the days go by. Even pro-choice people didn't used to be this insane. Here's Democratic Governor Ralph Northam, who didn't step down when a picture surfaced from his yearbook page of a KKK costume standing next to a blackface costume, because rules only apply to you, not them. They're all full of double standards and hypocrisy. And he also said this.
So in this particular example, if a mother is in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother. So I think this was really blown out of proportion. But again, we want the government not to be involved in these types of decisions. We want the decision to be made by the mothers and their providers.
Excuse me, guy? Resuscitate the baby? And then murder a living baby? Because now all of a sudden you're a libertarian when it comes to murder and you think the doctor and mother has rights to kill something that you just saved the life of? How late do these people want to go in abortion? It's literally insane. Listen to this Democrat explain. Yeah, it's a woman's right to pretty much kill the baby at any time before birth or mid-birth, dilating, doesn't matter.
This bill would remove the following statutes: trap or targeted regulations of abortion providers, removing language classifying facilities that perform 5 or more first trimester abortions per month as hospitals. It would repeal Virginia's informed consent mandatory ultrasound and 24-hour delay. It would repeal the requirement that second trimester abortions be performed in a hospital licensed by the State Department of Health. It would repeal the requirement for 2 additional physicians in cases of third trimester abortions.
Delegate Tran,
Yes, sir.
how late in a pregnancy would your bill apply if a physician was simply willing to certify that the continuation of the pregnancy would impair the mental health of the woman? How late are we talking about?
Well, so the suggestion that we've made in the bill is to say it's in the third trimester and at the, with the certification of the physician. So
how late in the third trimester would you be able to do that?
It's very unfortunate that our physicians, witnesses, were not able to attend today to speak specifically.
No, I'm
to
talking
that.
about your bill. How late in the third trimester could a physician perform an abortion if he indicated it would impair the mental health of the woman?
Or physical health.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm talking about the mental health.
So, through the third trimester. The third trimester goes all the way up to 40 weeks.
Okay, but to the end of the third trimester.
Yep, I don't think we have a limit in the bill.
So, where it's obvious that a woman is about to give birth, she has physical signs that she is about to give a birth, would that still be a point at which she could request an abortion if she was so certified? She's dilating.
Mr. Chairman, that would be a decision that the doctor, the physician, and the woman would make.
I understand
at
that. I'm asking
point.
if your bill allows that.
My bill would allow that, yes.
I certainly could have said a week from her due date, and that would have been the same answer, correct?
That it's allowed in the bill, yes.
Yes.
Not only are these people lying about clumps of cells when it comes to the heartbeat law, but they're also obviously lying about second and third trimester abortion up until birth and even potentially after birth. I don't know what this guy's talking about. I don't understand his language.
The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother. So
they're literally going insane. Pulling ads from the new anti-abortion movie, messing with it on Twitter. It's like they want to do abortions as late as possible, and they don't want you to talk about it, make a movie about it, promote it. It's getting really, 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 really creepy. And Beto's totally cool with it. Pretty much every liberal and Democrat won't speak out against it because they're afraid of seeming like they hate women. They're like, oh no, the women have the right to do anything. Believe all women. They can say whatever they want in court and the judge doesn't matter. Children don't matter. The most vulnerable thing, a baby with a heartbeat and limbs that can feel and see light, that doesn't matter. We're gonna masquerade our evil, disgusting, pathetic, asinine agenda behind the fake terminology that we created, reproductive rights and women's rights. And if you really look at what they're doing, from someone who considered themselves an activist just a few years ago for the same kind of stuff, they just use women and the LGBT community as a shield to do whatever they want, whenever they want. No equality, no freedom, double standards, hypocrisy, lies, late term abortion. It's like, what won't these people do? It's a very strange strategy to get back at Donald Trump. We hate Donald Trump and he's the worst person in the world. So to show you that, we're gonna continuously get more and more and more and more insane and unhinged, lie every single day for 2 years straight on the television, get celebrities to lie for us, screech, scream, curse at the fact that people don't want you to kill a baby with a heartbeat. Third trimester abortion. The law in New York City passed is worded very, very interestingly to basically allow a woman for mental health reasons, which could pretty much be anything considering how many Americans are on pharmacy pills, to kill their own baby up until birth. Doesn't matter how not a clump of cells it is. Yeah, that's women's rights in the upside down inverted world of modern day media, politicians, and liberal progressives. And trust me, conservatives and Republicans have a bucket load of flaws and critiques that you're able to make. I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm not saying they're above everything. But as somebody who used to lean left, I feel like it's my passion and responsibility to tell the left, what the heck are you doing? Stop. If you really want to beat Donald Trump, stop being so ridiculously crazy. Stop throwing literally the baby out with the bathwater just to resist. Because I'm not sure how popular late third trimester abortion is, but by the looks of it, not very popular. It's disgusting. And if you want to hear from a long-term clinic director about what really happens even in the first trimester abortions, here's Abby Johnson, author of Unplanned and former clinic director, talking about how insane even first trimester abortions are.
Sure, my name is Abby Johnson. I worked at Planned Parenthood for 8 years. I was an abortion clinic director. And I listened to the testimony from the opposition of this bill, and I want to sort of go through some of that interesting testimony that we heard and many non-factual points that were made in that testimony. I want to talk specifically about what a first trimester abortion is and what it looks like from a person who ran a Planned Parenthood abortion facility and was there for 8 years. First trimester abortions are by and large the most common abortion procedure we see in the United States. A transvaginal ultrasound is standard procedure inside of every National Abortion Federation clinic, which includes every Planned Parenthood clinic. That transvaginal ultrasound is done for primarily one reason: to determine how far along the woman is in her pregnancy so that we knew how much to charge her for the abortion. After the ultrasound is performed, the ultrasound machine is rolled away. The doctor comes in, who, by the way, has no conversation with the woman before the abortion. The fact that many people say abortion should be a decision made between a woman and her doctor is laughable. There is never a time where the abortion doctor goes in, sits down with the woman, and goes over risk, alternatives, and benefits to abortion. It does not happen. The doctor starts performing the abortion. He's going to insert into the woman's uterus, into the cervix, metal dilation rods, graduated metal dilation rods. He's going to dilate the cervix enough so that he can insert something called a suction cannula. That cannula looks like a straw. It is graduated. It gets bigger depending on how big the baby is in the womb so that the head will be able to fit through that suction cannula. He's going to insert that suction probe inside of the woman's uterus. Ultrasound guidance is not used. That is not the standard protocol inside of National Abortion Federation or Planned Parenthood clinics. He's going to take that probe and he's going to blindly poke around inside the woman's uterus until he thinks he has enough blood and tissue in a glass jar. That glass jar is going to go into a lab called the POC lab. POC in the medical community stands for products of conception. The products of conception is, of course, the baby. But you can't say baby inside of the abortion clinic. So we said POC or POC, or if the staff was feeling funny, they would say that it stood for parts of children. After all the parts were accounted for, the POC lab technician would dump everything out into a glass baking dish that sat on top of an X-ray light box, and she would reassemble the parts of the baby. Please understand me, I'm talking about first trimester abortion. Yes, there are parts. Yes, they must be reassembled. The baby is fully formed. Every internal organ is formed by 12 weeks gestation. So yes, there are parts, even earlier than 12 weeks. Once all of the parts are reassembled, that POC tech will take everything, dump it into a red biohazard Ziploc sort of bag, and those bags will go into a freezer in the POC lab that the staff jokingly called the nursery. And once a week, a company, a biohazard medical waste company like Stericycle, will come into the facility and they will pick up all the red bags of babies where they are taken to their facility to be incinerated. That's if the abortion facility decides they don't want to just put them in their industrial size garbage disposal and grind them up and put them into the water waste treatment facilities. That is first trimester abortion.
I don't know. Let me know what you think. Tell me if you have any information in the comment section. Please try not to share any disgusting pictures. I know that it's reality and you guys want to show people, but it's kind of gross. Just try to explain and maybe send a link somewhere. But whether you agree or disagree with me, we need to get the truth out there. We need to have discussions and conversations. We can't allow the media and politicians to censor, silence, block ads, and control the discussion in disguise of activism around a very real and serious topic that seems to be getting crazier and crazier as the days go on. Thank you for listening. Thank you for considering. Thank you to everybody supporting me. Now Facebook has a supporter section where if you'd like, you could pledge an amount, support me, and get secret posts that no one else but you could see. I appreciate everyone doing that. Also, I have other ways to support, but mostly just watch the video, share it, tag a friend, and let's stop the division, the hatred, and insanity, because it's not fun for anybody. I don't care who you like or who you dislike or what political party you're into. This can't possibly be fun for anybody. I'd love to see our country and the world get to a more sane place. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.
Hundreds of millions of people feel this way. They're just not gonna tell you. I will.